And we welcome you into Tarble Arena here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's Chris LoBosco here alongside me. I have Dan Pfeifer as we get ready for another matchup here of Division III basketball. It's the Carthage Firebirds hosting the Olivet Comets. And Dan, we've got ourselves a good one today, a 1 o'clock start here. A cold one outside, but we're nice and warm inside.
Indeed, the up and down temperatures of the state of Wisconsin in the month of December, not something we have to deal with as we take a look at the parquet of Tarble Arena today, and we're excited to bring this one to you as the Carthage Firebirds make their way towards the end of the 2025 calendar year with this game against Olivet, a game that on paper Carthage looks like the better team coming in at 5-4 against this Olivet team that is 2-5, but Olivet has been tested by some good opponents in the state of Michigan, which is where they're coming from. Olivet, an area between Kalamazoo, Lansing, and Ann Arbor. They actually took on Central Michigan in their last game. It was an exhibition for them officially. They did lose by 20 points, but you're going up against Division I competition in that contest. Today you're going up against the Carthage team that made it to the NCAA tournament last year. So it'll be a good test for Carthage today, a test of their depth against an Olivet team that might not be as deep on paper, but it'll be interesting to see if Carthage can kind of keep the momentum going after they've had finals and as they come out here on the home court one last time here before they head on the road to take on Edgewood in a holiday tournament next week.
It's been a tough schedule for the Firebirds here at the start of this season, a bit up and down. Like you said, the 5-4 record. 3 of those losses have been to ranked opponents. Carthage was ranked at the beginning of the year. Not ranked right now, but if you kind of go on a streak here and maybe make this a second win in a row, maybe that's what you can get to. But so far for the Firebirds, just another opponent that you've got to make sure you got to beat.
Indeed, and you mentioned that they've played a lot of ranked competition. Again, this is a team that made the NCAA tournament last year. I like the fact that Steve Jerakovic really challenged his guys with the schedule that he put together for them in the non-conference season this year. Go up against good teams, see what you can do, because you got a lot of pieces back from that team that went to the tournament last year. So now, okay, test them a little bit more, see what they can do. This is a game, again, that, as we've said, isn't maybe as much of a challenge as some of those other games earlier on the schedule, but you know what? You get right a little bit before you start getting into conference play, and you put yourself in a position where you can have that success as you move on towards playing opponents in the CCIW.
Can't sleep on anybody, in the stats for this Carthage Firebirds team is something we'll be looking at here in just a moment, but you look at as far as the season goes, they're starting to get some of those things going. They've been outscoring opponents here. They at least have the average better now for the Firebirds compared to how they were earlier on in the years. Now you can see 75.8 versus 68.8 for the points for and points against. And as far as their other stats, not too bad. The field goal percentage may be a little bit higher, you would like it, but other than that, I mean, you're shooting pretty well from 3-point. And you're holding your opponents to a worse 3-point percentage.
There are a lot of different ways that Carthage can beat you. Notice that assist-to-turnover margin, though, right now. They want to improve upon that as they go here. 14.7 assists per game. They want to get that number up. They have the ability to score down low. They just haven't necessarily put it all together just yet. Granted, this is a little bit of a smaller Carthage team, and they will get challenged by some of Olivet's height today. We'll see that when we see some of the numbers for Olivet. But Carthage can come out today, they can do some different things. They can find different ways to beat you, and they're going to want to look to some of those different ways as they take on the Comets today.
And Olivet is a team that will play a little bit of a different style, too, than probably what they're used to as well, as we can see their stats there. They've been outscored by 4 points by their opponents so far in the year. It's a decent shooting team, though, 36% from 3, so you've got to be aware of that as well. And they also are a team that tends to play a lot of zone as well, something else that Carthage will have to deal with.
They play a lot of zone, and also they are a team that likes to chuck it from the cheap seats, to use a line from Hoosiers. You've got Levi Stambaugh, who hits from 45.5% beyond the arc. You've got Nathan Richardson, who will take 3-pointers. You've got Connor Skipper, who is a big kid. He comes from Holland, out of Zeeland East in Holland, but at the same time, he hits on about 44% of his 3-point shots. So this will be an Olivet team that will challenge Carthage from the outside. They'll try and get it done from there.
Without a doubt, looks like they're getting ready here to announce the starting lineups in a moment. So I think we're going to step aside here and allow them to do that, and we'll come back and give you some players to watch.
Coaches, staff, and fans, and welcome to Tarble Arena for today's men's basketball game between the University of Olivet and your Carthage College Firebirds. Please direct your attention towards the American flag located at the north end of the arena. It draped the coffin of Captain Frank Vavrin, a former Carthage student who died in Vietnam in 1970. The flag is a gift to the college from his parents. In remembering Captain Vavrin, we pay tribute to all who have sacrificed their lives for our country and honor those who today put themselves in harm's way in service to America. At this time, we ask that you please rise if able and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, fans, it's time to meet today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Comets of the University of Olivet. At forward, a 6'2 freshman from Willoughby, Ohio, number 11, Sean Schenker. At forward, a 6'5 sophomore from Grand Rapids, Michigan, number 12, Porter Crutchman. At guard, a 6'1 junior from Flint, Michigan, number 23, Nathan Richardson. At center, a 6'7 junior from Farmington Hills, Michigan, number 40, Lee Hardy. And at center, a 6'10 junior from Holland, Michigan, number 50, Connor Shipper. The head coach of the Comets is Sam Hargraves. Coach Hargraves is assisted by Chad Lovelace, Brian Schneider, Ryan Franklin, and Cortez Williams. All right, Firebird fans, make some noise. It's showtime.
I wondered what was wrong with me.
First was savage, more my mood, that's what it was. 2016 we was running around, beating us up in the club. I know she around for the money, but act like she loyal, I don't feel the love. I'm so rich, get bored, might wake up, buy me a car just cause. It's hard cause she spent the 5, my beauty cost me a dub. All my got BBLs, all my blood. I ain't with the rap beef Draco, for that's why all my ops get touched. We never ran off on no bar, but still be having our cut.
And now the starting lineup for your Carthage College Firebirds. At guard, a 6'3 senior from Whitney Young High School in Chicago, Illinois, number 4, A.J. Williams. At forward, a 6'7 junior from Oswego East High School in Oswego, Illinois, number 10, Ryan Johnson. At guard, a 6'5 junior from Ripon High School in Ripon, Wisconsin, number 11, Riley Brooks. At guard, a 6'3 senior from Oswego East High School in Oswego, Illinois, number 15, A.J. Johnson. And at guard, a 6'3 senior from Wakanda High School in Wakanda, Illinois, number 21, Griffin Dawn. The head coach of the Firebirds is Steve Jerichovic. Coach Jerichovic is assisted by Tyler Pierce, Josh Washburn, Brad Emmer, Noah Howard, and Quincy French.
All right, it's just about time for tip-off here at Tarble Arena. Chris LoBosco alongside me. I've got Dan Pfeifer as we get ready for this matchup of the 5-4 Carthage Firebirds versus the 2-5 Olivet Comets. As you heard the starters get announced there, and you can see them up on your screen. And looking at it as far as the Carthage Firebirds, one of the players to watch out for here for us, of course, is going to be A.J. Johnson, Dan.
Yeah, A.J. Johnson trying to get things going a little bit this season. Senior leader out of Oswego for Carthage, Oswego, Illinois. Did have 22 points against Wheaton on Saturday, hoping that he can keep those big scoring numbers up. Riley Brooks has actually been the leading scorer for the Firebirds this year, averaging 16.9 points per game. A.J. sitting at 11.4. He wants to get that number higher.
That tip-off went to Nathan Richardson, our other player to watch on the other side for Olivet, as their baseline going in was Kretschmann as he goes up again, and it'll be Olivet starting things off 2-0, getting down low to score.
Olivet does have good size. Porter Kretschmann averaging 7 rebounds per game out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Looking good down there, getting second chance points for Olivet to start this contest.
A.J. Johnson holding it up, top of the key. Cross-court pass as they work this one. Zone being played by the side of Olivet. Go cross-court, have to go back towards the middle. Ooh, nice job cutting in to get the ball. There was A.J. Williams. Wasn't a pass to him, but at least he had an opportunity.
Already you're seeing Olivet come out with a lot of energy, forcing a bad pass that Carthage is lucky doesn't turn into a turnover. Olivet gets the first 2 points of the game and does force Carthage to commit a turnover on or to lose the basketball without getting points on their first possession.
Richardson there picked up his dribble, and then we get a off-ball foul. It'll be against Olivet, so it will be ball for the Firebirds.
Looks like that one's going to go against Nathan Richardson with the illegal screen there, so maybe a little too much energy for Olivet early on in this contest. It ends up costing them in terms of the foul.
A.J. Johnson with the ball once again, goes to the far side. As they play that 2-3 zone, they will go for the corner three, and that one is good. Number 11, Riley Brooks, opening the scoring for the Firebirds.
And that's what the Firebirds are going to want to do against this zone that Olivet is going to play. If you can get open shots, take them, hit them, that'll be how they win today if the Firebirds can come away with a victory.
Richardson looking to go down low. Good tip away from Dawn, as now they go on the fast break. Do the Firebirds in towards the middle. Wide open with the left hand, laying it in. Ryan Johnson. Easy basket on the fast break.
Nice move to the basket, and it's created by the steal at the other end. A little dangerous going through the back of Lee Hardy, but no foul called, and it works out for Carthage.
Double team, was able to get the ball away over to Hardy. And now it's back over to Richardson. Richardson calling out what he wants the offense to do. Go towards the low block to Skipper as he gets his pocket picked. Skipper, excuse me. It says not to sound like that, and I, of course, did. So he gets his pocket picked, but the ball went out. Stays here with Olivet.
Mentioned Connor Skipper, big kid out of Holland, but he can also shoot it from outside as well.
Look for the cutting Richardson, who comes back outside, and I think they called shot clock violation before the shot went off for Richardson, so even if it fell, it would not have counted. So it will be ball once again for the Firebirds.
Can happen early in the game where after an out-of-bounds play, a blob, if you will, baseline out-of-bounds play, you lose track of the shot clock. That's what happened for Olivet there, a little bit of lack of awareness. Carthage, the beneficiary of that turnover.
As there, his pocket gets picked, does A.J. Johnson. Good steal by number 11 in Schenker. As now driving towards the baseline was Kretschmann, back up top now, as they will reset things here. As Schenker looking to drive, will now go for the three-point shot. Not able to get that one with Skipper, and rebound comes out to the Firebirds.
Skipper hits at a 44% clip from outside. Had a good look from the top of the key, couldn't get it to go.
Johnson making that pass into the middle. Nice little pass over. And once again, it's Ryan Johnson just in the perfect place to receive a ball to be wide open.
Block to block, Olivet lost him on the opposite block. And a timeout for Olivet as they want to talk things over, down 5 early.
And while we have this timeout, would you like to apply to Carthage? Take the next step in your educational journey with Carthage College. The admission process is simple. Whether you're an undergraduate, transfer, graduate, or international student, visit carthage.edu/apply for details or contact our admissions team at 800-351-4058 or at admissions@carthage.edu. We look forward to welcoming you to the Firebird family. I mean, getting that quick timeout here, the Firebirds out of Olivet, I mean, it was a little bit of a slow start, I think, for the Firebirds, and then they started to catch on.
Get a couple turnovers, and that really turns thing around early on here. Carthage, 3 of 4 shooting early in this contest, getting easy buckets as well. Not getting the rebounds yet. You know Olivet is probably going to win that battle with some of the size that they have, but if you can shoot the way that Carthage has, they're going to have success in this contest.
Been putting a lot of pressure on the guards on the outside. Make it difficult to get inside for those big men down low. And speaking of one of those big men, Lee Hardy goes inside, does the dirty work, gets his own rebound, puts it back for 2.
Hardy out of Farmington Hills, Michigan. You pair him at 6'7" with Skipper at 6'10", and that is that size that you see for Olivet. They're going to try and do that a lot today. Back you down in the post, get second chance points. They did it there.
Johnson able to dribble around one, pull up jumper, and he hits nothing but the bottom of the net, makes it 9-4 now for the Firebirds, so good answer back as Richardson quickly brings the ball across the timeline. Now we'll get the three-point shot there from the screen outside, good rebound, and now it's back the other way with A.J. Williams. They push the ball quickly, and going in, getting the foul was Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson been the guy who they've been finding here early for the Firebirds, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, the guy that spends the most time out on the court each game for Carthage, averaging 31.6 minutes per contest. Also their top rebounder with 11.4 per game. You know, you get that 15-foot jumper. That's kind of a lost art in basketball nowadays, but it really does open up the defense when you can hit on that pull-up. We see it there. Carthage now up 10-4 after the first free throw is good, and Olivet has to go to their bench.
Gets that one, like you said, and you know when you're going in transition quickly like the Firebirds have, you can't really set into your zone like you want to if you're Olivet. So you're taking advantage of that as well, where they can't be playing defense the way that they want. As we got a little bit of a second there before we get this second shot. There we go. Now they give the ball back over to Ryan Johnson as he'll put up his second. And that one, again, finding the bottom of the net, makes it now 11-4.
Fast start for the Firebirds and fast start for Johnson, who already has 6 points in this contest.
Picks up his dribble, did Schenker, as he'll have to give it off to Richardson. Crosses his dribble over, goes back to Schenker near side, out on the elbow. He will pull back on his dribble, looking for the pick and roll. Will go inside, rolls away, cross court over to Richardson. Jump shot, manages to bounce in. Wow, I think that's 3. That'll make it 11-7.
Good off-ball screen there by Mike Okello that set up the open three-pointer there and the lucky bounce from the corner.
Cross-court pass from Williams over into the corner, and that looks like that's Riley Brooks, so that'll be another three-pointer. That cross-court pass in a zone is always a good one if you can find it.
Going to wear out the spots in the parquet floor here in the corners, the way that these two teams are hitting shots from those spots. Although, if you're Olivet, you don't want to get into a shootout in this one. You want to keep pounding the ball down low.
And that's where they're going right now to Skipper as he gets his pocket picked. And now it will be back over to the Firebirds as they go outside. A little bit of a lost dribble there by Brooks. Now finding inside. Can't get that one to fall, but should be going to the line again is Ryan Johnson.
Didn't look like there was a lot of contact there, but the foul is called. Hey, Chris Schlesinger, great work on the post defense, identifying the dribble there and knocking the ball free. That gives Carthage the opportunity to get 2 here from the charity stripe.
So 14-7 is where we stand right now. Johnson another one up and good. And looking at it for Ryan Johnson for free throws on the year, he's one of the better free throw shooters on this team, about 70%. And
Riley Brooks leading the way as an 80% shooter, but yeah, you'll take that 70%.
Yeah, 70 is pretty good.
Yeah.
You'll take it.
Over on the other side, that might be the one flaw for Connor Skipper. He is shooting just 40% on the season for Olivet.
You know, for a guy, the fact that his three-point shooting is about the same as his free throw shooting, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That you don't see that very often, if at all.
You get a guy that's a better shooter further away from the basket in motion than he is with a set shot from the free throw line.
Speaking of good shooters, it's Richardson again from the outside, three-point elbow. makes it now 16-9. They're at least keeping it a little bit close here, going to a little bit of a half-court trap, it looks like, but able to break that no problem was Johnson. As he gets the ball poked away, it manages to keep the handle. Now going to the far side as they will settle into that zone. Looking for that pass down low, gets tipped away. And now that looks to be Okello who's going to send that one across to Richardson. As they will look to go again with that pick up top. And Richardson hitting another three, basically the same spot he just hit.
He is dangerous. Leads Olivet, averaging 14.7 points per game. Also hits at a 37.5% clip from outside the arc. He is Olivet's main weapon. You have to do a better job of guarding him if you're Carthage.
And with that last one, that's 7 points for him already in this game. He's getting close to his average already, as they will have another player go to the free throw line. That is Schlesinger. He will shoot 2 here. A lot of free throws so far for the Firebirds very early in this game. I mean, you look at it as far as the team fouls, there's already 4 on the side of Olivet, and that first one up and no good.
Yeah, interesting right now for Richardson. They actually have him.
I'm sorry, 8. It was a 3.
Yes, with 8 points on the scoreboard right now. 8 of Olivet's 12. Yeah, math is not our forte. That's why we talk for a living. But at the same time, that's 2/3 of the points that Olivet have on the scoreboard right now, and that tells you just how important he is to the Olivet offense.
Second one was up and good, makes it 17-12. Firebirds with a 5-point lead. There's a couple substitutions coming in here as well for the Comets. One of those players dribbling right now was number 2 in Kolakovic.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. As they send this one out to Richardson for 3. Almost had a third one there in the same spot. It's going to be off of number 10, Ryan Johnson. So that will be ball for the Comets. And they'll get a fresh shot clock here too, 20 seconds.
Interesting. That's a call that can go either way. You can say it's off of Ryan Johnson, or Connor Skipper over the back a little bit there. They say there wasn't enough contact. Ball stays with the Comets.
Dribble drive by Johnson. He gives it off to the player, and Skipper not able to get that jumper to hit, and a foul over on that far side. We'll see who they called it on. They called it on Schlesinger.
Chris Schlesinger with the good defense earlier to create the steal. There he gets hit with the foul. Quick sub for Olivet as we do see Sean Schenker come in. Schenker, a weapon for the Comets as well, hitting at about a 27% clip beyond the line.
Did not hit that one, though, and now it will be A.J. Johnson again with the ball as he gives that one off top of the key to Schlesinger. Back outside they go, working that ball around the perimeter. Gets back to Johnson, and he sends that one not in the best spot, and that one gets stolen away and back the other way. Not able to get the ball to go on the layup was number 11 in Schenker as they quickly, that pass just a little too high for Brooks. There was a player coming out to him anyway, so he wouldn't have been able to get a quick shot off, but again, they try to go for that cross-court pass.
The tempo of this game has been pretty quick thus far, and at times it's been a little too quick for Carthage. Consecutive turnovers there. One bounce pass, a lot of coaches like to preach the bounce pass because it's pretty low. It's tough to get a hand up for it, but if you put it too low for the player, it's too low for him to get down and grab it, and there's a turnover for Olivet.
Jalen Brown with the steal. Pass off quickly over to A.J. Johnson. Johnson, top of the key, pulls his dribble up, sends it to the far side to Brooks. Back to Johnson. They go down low now. Trying to get inside is Schlesinger, and he cannot get that one to fall. He got inside, maybe not as far as he would have liked, couldn't get the basket.
Nice post move for a player that's Schlesinger's size at 6'5". Just wasn't close enough to the basket there. Olivet tries to get points back, tipped away into the backcourt, but with the tip, it won't be a backcourt violation.
Yeah, Okello was the one who had that ball there, tipped away from him. Now it's over to Kolovak. Boy, I don't know why I'm having so much trouble saying his name, Kolakovic. As it will be A.J. Johnson back the other way.
Well, he tripped over his name in the process of trying to make that play and turned it over, so it's not just you.
It's not just me, which I'll take it. Outside, picked up his dribble, was Brown, was able to get away freely, though, and now to Johnson. Back outside, three-point shot doesn't fall for Brooks as it's back for the Comets, quickly pushing the ball up, trying to go quickly with the pace themselves. Kretschmann gets inside, can't get that one to fall, and A.J. Johnson with the rebound.
A.J. Johnson might have even got a piece of that one. Looked like it came out of his hand a little bit funny. We're going to have a timeout taken by Carthage as, again, with the pace of this game being what it has been, that has played to Carthage's advantage. You've got this big team in Olivet that likes to play a lot of zone, kind of tries to slow things down.
Yeah.
Carthage pushing the tempo, Olivet really playing to that tempo, not necessarily slowing things down themselves, and that's part of the reason why Carthage has his 5-point lead.
As we got some stats up on the board here for you. 5 of 14 the shooting right now. That's a lot of field goals so far for Olivet. 5 of 8 for the Firebirds. 2 of 6 from outside. They have been shooting a lot right now for Olivet.
For over a century, Badger Bus has provided safe and reliable transportation between Wisconsin and Minnesota. Whether for work, school, or a big game, Badger Bus ensures comfortable travel with daily routes, charter services, onboard Wi-Fi, and professional drivers. Experience why generations trust the red and white buses. Learn more at badgerbus.com and book your next trip today.
I believe Ryan Johnson just subbed back into the game. Didn't see who he was subbing in for. Might have been his brother, actually. Now that I'm looking at the court. Corner shot, and that one falls. It's Riley Brooks. He's been hitting a couple already in this game, but quickly back the other way. Okello, they don't want to slow things down for the Comets, but now things do get slowed down.
Yeah, Brooks coming into this one, top scorer for Carthage, averaging 16.9 per game, hits that shot from outside. He's a 40% three-point shooter. He has looked good this season thus far.
Hardy with that pass outside. That one doesn't fall from Okello. And the Firebirds back the other way. Oh, that one almost a bad pass right near the timeline. Got to be careful with those.
Well, and not to mention, too, Okello, a step inside the three-point line. That means he wasn't exactly where he thought he was on the court. That's not a shot that he wants to take, and it's no surprise that it's off.
As they look to try and break the zone here, getting players to draw in. Oh, and that pass off the mark. Manages to keep it, though, and going in with the right hand, just making something out of nothing, was number 20, and Jabe Haith.
Yeah, and sometimes in the chaos like that, you see that you have a clear path to the basket, especially with the shot clock winding down like that. Good awareness by Haith. He saw the lane, took the shot, and got it.
Oh, nice move to get inside by Hardy as he gets 2 points for himself, 22-14. Lead is starting to grow here, though, for the Firebirds. See if they can get another basket here. Brown looking inside for Haith. Back outside as you got a bunch of the subs in right now for the Firebirds, but they still have Brooks over the double team with the shot. Can't get it to fall, but now the fast break. Driving down. Oh, nice foul to not allow a shot off by Jalen Brown. Also good job making sure that Richardson didn't go to the ground, kept him up when he fouled him.
You know, if you're going to commit a foul like that, you want to get your money's worth, as we talk about. And, you know, that's a play where you don't want to get drawn for a flagrant foul, but you want to make sure that you foul the guy hard enough that he doesn't have the opportunity to get the and one. That's a good play by Jalen Brown. Sometimes you just have to take that foul, and he kept the shot from coming out of his hands.
Richardson's first shot up and no good, so it's a big miss right now for the Comets, who are trailing in this one, 22-14. Couple substitutions here as well, looks like for both teams.
With the tempo of this game, you want to get some fresh legs out on the floor for Carthage. A.J. Williams, Nate Montgomery, and Griffin Dawn all come out for the Firebirds.
By the way, that is an uncharacteristic miss, too, for Richardson. He is 22 of 26. That's 84%, almost 85% is his free throw shooting on the year so far.
Broadcaster's curse. We start talking about how good he is as a free throw shooter, and what does he do?
Well, that was after the fact, though. Normally it's before. I was just thinking about it, and it happened.
That's all you need to do.
As Brown, I think, got called for the travel there, so that will be Olivet ball. I like the idea of what he went for, just a little bit too quick on himself.
Shuffled his feet on the hesitation move there, and again, that speaks to the tempo of this game. You're going to make little mistakes like that when a game is moving as quick as this one has.
Across the timeline goes number 2, and Kalakovic. As he dribbles around the screen, takes a 3, and that one drained its way in. Didn't look like it was going to fall, but he gets 3. That'll make it 22-18. Comets trying to keep this one close.
Trey Kalakovic doesn't take a lot of threes, but when he does take them, he hits them at a 2 out of every 3 clip. He only has taken 6 on the season thus far, but that one falls as well.
Don made that pass over to the far side. Brown's shot does not fall. And that'll be the Comets coming quickly across the timeline was Kretschmann as he goes back down low over to Skipper. Takes that nice floater. Makes it a 2-point game. Back to within 2 are the Comets.
You talk about that mid-range jump shot. Now we see it at this end of the floor. Connor Skipper hits from 18 now.
You never expect a big man like that to be taking mid-range jump shots, but he has a pretty nice shot for sure, as there's a three-pointer from Brown, and he drains it. 25-20, get that lead back up to 5.
Great answer by Jalen Brown. That was needed for the Carthage Firebirds. Brown hasn't seen as much time this season as he wanted to, and now we get a steal by Carthage as well.
A.J. Williams going in with the right hand, can't get the basket to fall. Good foul, though, keeps him going to the line for 2.
Yeah, Lee Hardy commits that foul, and that's another professional foul right there. You talk about Connor Skipper, and that's some of that European flair that he brings, taking jumpers from different parts of the floor, even though he is a bigger guy, a little bit of that Dirk Nowitzki in him, if you will. But again, you know, when you've got a weapon like that who can play down low, leads the team in rebounds with 8.3, but also has that mid-range jumper and can hit from outside, it allows you to do a lot of different things if you're Olivet. There's a reason why he's one of the key components for this Comets team.
Without a doubt. Williams hit that first one. A.J. Williams on the year, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. See if he can make it 6 for 6 with this next one. And he does.
Did not evoke the broadcaster's curse there. Carthage back up 7.
You know what? Sometimes you gotta give it out there every now and then and just see what happens. Richardson quickly passing that one off, gets it right back as he looks for the player on the wing. And Schenker, they will go back over to Skipper as he gets inside. Good positioning, can't get the shot off. Instead goes outside for 3, and that one a little bit too long. An air ball. Good rebound for the Firebirds by number 21 and Dawn.
Skipper did everything right there. You have to respect the mid-range jumper. He uses that as a ball fake, goes down low where he's dangerous, hits a player outside. The shot just was not a good shot.
Oh, Brown getting caught in the middle there. I think, was that offensive 3 seconds? Is that what they call
Traveling.
it? Traveling, okay.
Made another move where he
I
shuffled
didn't think
his
he was
feet.
in there long enough to
Yeah, might need to get a little bit more tread on those pink shoes that he's wearing here today. That's the second time he's traveled with the basketball.
Just moved that pivot foot a little bit too much. Schenker crossed the timeline. Now to the near side to Kretschmann, who he goes up. I think he wanted to try and dunk that. Just goes for the layup instead. Makes it back to a 5-point game.
We talk about the size that this Comets team has, but they're athletic as well. Great move to the basket by Kretschmann.
A.J. Johnson, pull-up jumper from the free throw line. Makes it 29-22.
This is part of what's fun about watching basketball at this level. You've got guys who have different skill sets that might not translate at some of the higher levels, but certainly work well here. Great mid-range jumper.
Speaking of mid-range jumper, that one's off from Skipper as A.J. Johnson carries this one back up. As they will get the call here. Johnson going to that far side, and did he dribble on that sideline?
Nope, we're going to get a foul call against
foul,
Olivet.
okay. So I think that's going against Schenker. That's the 6th one, so.
Another example of how Olivet is at times struggling to keep up with the pace of this Carthage team. One way to slow teams down, well, break the rules, foul them every once in a while. When you can't keep up, that's kind of what ends up happening just with the nature of the speed of the game.
Oh, and speaking of speed there, not that he had a lot of speed just going around his screen, but still, A.J. Johnson making them pay with a 10-point game again.
That's a different kind of speed. The quick release of A.J. Johnson, and he hits from outside.
There you go. From the top of the key, 3-pointer off the mark from Kretschmann as it will go back into the hands of A.J. Johnson and across the timeline. Dribble drive in, and he gets bumped again. That's going to be another foul in Schenker. That's 2 on him quickly here. He's got a few on him, and that's, I think, the 7th team foul, so that should be bonus time.
Indeed it is. And just that quickly, Schenker comes off the floor as Sam Hargraves, head coach of the Comets, says, all right, we got to work a little bit on some of the defensive things here. But, yes, with Carthage being in the bonus with 5:50 left in this first half, they should get to the line a few times, although that one touched every part of the rim, but not the bottom of the hoop.
Yeah, the 1-and-1, you don't get that second one there, at least for A.J. Johnson. Back onto the defensive end for the Firebirds, and Skipper from 3 as he hits that one from the elbow.
He is the main offensive weapon right now for the Comets, and they are finding him. He's getting open shots, and there he hits that one. He's missed a couple.
Work into the corner here. I think that was, couldn't tell. I was trying to see if that was Williams or Brooks. It was Williams. Missed that one, and then a foul underneath the basket. It's on the Firebirds. So it'll stay. It was their ball anyways for the Comets, but they'll just take an extra second before they go on to the offensive end.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson trying to box out down there a little bit too aggressive, and in that situation, when you're not getting the ball anyhow, it's kind of a useless foul, a little bit of insult to injury there. Olivet down 7, but they've hung in this one pretty well.
Kretschmann passing that one across to Skipper. Gives it off to the far side. Driving baseline there was Howard. Picked up his dribble outside to Richardson. Can't get that one to fall. Good rebound by Brooks. And now they go to the near side to Williams.
Open look for Richardson. If you're Sam Hargraves, you want him taking that shot, particularly after Skipper had been the shooter the last few possessions.
Elbow 3 from the near side. Can't fall for Williams. They quickly push this one up, and it's going to be an end one for Mike Okello.
A.J. Williams frustrated with himself after that one. We talk about trying to get fouls in that situation. Well, that wasn't much of a foul on the part of A.J. Williams. Quickly down the floor, Olivet gets the bucket in transition and could get one more.
Mike Okello, the sophomore, 6'8". He is from Harriman, Utah.
Although at the free throw line, he has struggled on the season.
We'll see what he can do with his end one opportunity here. Off the front of the rim, good rebound by the Firebirds, so he will not get the end one. Keeps this one 32-27 as we are quickly approaching the 4-minute mark of quarter number 1. Bit of a slower quarter because of all of the fouls that have happened.
Yeah, Okello came into this game 1 of 6 from the free throw line, 167, not even a good batting average in baseball, much less what you want to see from the charity stripe, and he misses that one too.
Well below the Mendoza line is that one. I think that hit off the rim and then hit off of a Firebird, so this should be Comets' ball. That was a three-point shot from Brooks. He just couldn't, just a little bit short on it.
Yeah, and a result of some of the chaotic tempo that we've seen in this contest. And yes, that tempo does play to what Carthage wants to do today, but still, it's just kind of tough to get your rhythm when you're playing as quickly as both of these teams have.
Richardson on the drive and the putback from Okello.
We're going to get a delay of game warning against Olivet for knocking the ball away after the slam dunk, but Okello with the statement dunk, the big sophomore out of Harriman, Utah, in the middle, coming up with the board and the slam with authority.
And you were talking about that size. It's one of those guys. You've got two guys in the middle there for this Comets team that are above 6'8". Outside shot, and that one falls. It's Riley Brooks in the corner again. That has been his spot today.
And that's what you do to counter that size. You know what? You don't have to deal with it if you're hitting from outside, and you even get an extra point when you hit it from beyond that stripe.
Now goes to Skipper, far side baseline, back outside for 3 from, oh, that one took a funny bounce off of the rim for Stambaugh.
Yeah, Stambaugh took that three-pointer almost from Racine. Doesn't go for him. It ends up going out of bounds. All Carthage has to do is watch it go out, and as a result, they can try and build on this 6-point lead.
3:26. You know, we've talked about the frenetic pace, but it's so weird. It's been a long quarter, even though the pace has been fast, because of all of the fouls and all of the stoppages we've had so far.
It has been stop and start, and the teams have been using their timeouts judiciously as well.
Yes, as there a three-pointer again, and it's Riley Brooks again. He has been on fire from the outside.
15 points in the basketball game for Riley Brooks. He has taken over.
Is there a foul down low? So that's the 15th foul for the Firebirds, and it will be a shooting foul for Okello. That's what I was waiting to see. So he will go to the line. I think he was mad at himself that he didn't actually get that one to fall.
Brooks had 28 points on December 6th against Carroll. He is on pace to top that mark right now. He's on pace for at least a 30-point game with 3 minutes left in this first half. That doesn't guarantee that he will be as open as he has been at times in this one, but he is hitting left and right thus far in this contest. And he's, as you mentioned, with that zone, that corner is open a lot of the time, and he's taking advantage.
That second one up and good. Makes it an 8-point game here as we're approaching the end of the first half. 3 minutes left to go.
Okello does figure things out from the free throw line, and he will get a rest as a result of hitting that free throw. But Carthage again, we said that outside shooting was going to be the key today, and we see it again right here.
And that one falls again. A.J. Williams That elbow corner three has been falling for Williams, as now he plays some defense on the other end. Skipper with the ball. Pulls up his dribble, gives it to Richardson. Richardson, a lot of work off those on-ball screens, gives it back to Skipper down low, outside the block. Now tries to back his way to it. Gets inside the paint, tries to get a shot off, quickly sends it back out. Not taking the shot right away was Kretschmann. Pulls up and misses. And now the Firebirds here with 2:11 left to go in the first half.
And that's pretty much the difference in this game right now. Olivet, 4 of 13 from beyond the line, 30% shooting. Carthage, an amazing 8 of 13, 61.5% beyond the three-point line, and it might improve here, although it does not.
Good attempt by Ryan Johnson, just couldn't get that one to fall. Ball staying here with the Firebirds, though, so 41-30. They've gotten that lead back up to 11 here.
Modern basketball, if you can hit from outside, you take it every single time, and Carthage has been doing a great job with that today.
Floater doesn't go for Riley Brooks. As Olivet quickly back up court. Kretschmann off to the far side. Three doesn't fall for Kolakovic. And the Firebirds going to take their time now bringing the ball up here as we get close to the end of the first half.
And as you can see, Olivet has gotten a little out of rhythm. We know that their strength is going down low, working things with Skipper. Now they're taking those outside shots, and it's not working out.
Ryan Johnson lost the handle there. I think he's also lucky that he didn't get called for the contact, that he was the one initiating.
There was a lot of contact down there, kind of a bit of a pinball move after a while. Fortunately for Carthage, it will be Ryan Johnson at the free throw line.
Interesting. You know what? It might have been inside the...
Could have been inside the charge arc. You're right.
Yeah, I think that's why he's going to the line, because he was a little bit out of control, it looked like, but he gets that first one up and good, and ball doesn't lie, as the great Rasheed Wallace once said, so it clearly was a foul.
Carthage now with the 12-point lead, and here at the end of this first half, they've taken command of this basketball game. Olivet struggling to shoot the basketball, Carthage taking advantage.
And they have been great from the free throw line here, too, for the Firebirds. Been in this bonus for quite a while. Richardson, again, working around that screen, decides to take the three, and the bank is open.
Yeah, I don't think that's exactly how he planned for that
Definitely
shot to
not.
go in, but it did go in. He'll accept the 3 points, even though he won't get any style points for that one. You said it, though. Carthage, 8 of 10 from the free throw line, and that's made a big difference in this game, in addition to their outside shooting.
They haven't had the greatest free throw shooting percentage in this season so far, so that is a good one. And there's a three again from the outside. I believe that was Brooks again.
Yeah, he is just on fire today. 18 points already in this contest, and we haven't even hit the half.
And Hanan tried to answer on the other side, could not. And now they can hold here. Won't be the last possession, but it'll bring it down to, looks like about 6 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock.
Carthage did put up 98 points against St. Mary's to open the season. They may end up getting close to that number again today if they keep up this kind of shooting.
That one can't fall for Ryan Johnson on the outside. 5 seconds left here. Richardson working on that near side, takes the three. Can't get that one to fall. If he hit that one, that would have been a heck of a three to hit on the put, to just drop back like that. Nice opportunity, but 46-33, the Firebirds with the lead.
Yeah, great first half for Carthage. You're shooting 56% for the game on the whole. A little over 56%, 9 of 16 from three-point land for the Firebirds early on in this one. You're also 9 of 11 from the free throw line. You'd have to be shooting really well if you're Olivet to just keep pace with that. And in the end, when you're only hitting on 39.4% of your shots, 13 of 33 for Olivet on the day, that's not enough to keep pace. Good first half for the Firebirds. They'll just want to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Yeah, we'll take a timeout, and we'll come back with that second half here in just a little bit. Well, actually, we'll come back probably in the middle, give you some updates on stats and who our leaders are in scoring, but I'll be back in just a few. It's halftime here at Tarble Arena. It's Chris LoBosco alongside me. I got Dan Pfeifer as it is currently a 46-33 lead for the Carthage Firebirds over the Olivet Comets. And Dan, looking at it so far, some pretty good shooting here from the Firebirds. Also some great free throw shooting too as well from them.
Yeah, on the whole, and we mentioned the field goal percentages before we went to break. You know, Carthage shooting 56% on the whole, 56.3% from beyond the arc. Whenever you're hitting 9 of 16 from beyond the three-point line, and we'll mention the fact that a lot of that has to do with the shooting that we have seen thus far in this game from Riley Brooks. Yeah, you know, you're going to be successful a lot in basketball games. And even the fact, when you look at the fact that they've only had one offensive rebound, but they're still winning the rebounding battle against this bigger Olivet team at the other end, where they have 17 rebounds compared to 16 for Olivet. Everything's been coming up Carthage's way, including the fact that they have dictated the tempo in this basketball game. And we talked about it a little bit during the break before we came back. Olivet is a team that wants to bang down in the post using their size, but in the latter part of the first half, they got away from that quite a bit. It seems like Olivet has been taken out of their game a little bit, and that's a result of what Carthage has done with the pace.
Yeah, our game stats here presented by Paulman Auto Stores. You can see they have 12 points in the paint from Olivet, and like you said, kind of went away from it, and that's where they're getting most of their points. Have actually more bench points, too, than the Firebirds, which is actually a bit of a surprise, because I thought the bench played pretty well for the Firebirds here in this game so far. Second chance points as well, 6 for Olivet.
Well, and that second chance points number speaks to, again, the idea that Olivet hasn't gotten the ball down low as much as maybe they want to, because they want to see that number be nice and high. When you've got the ball in the post and you've got those big bodies down there, you have the ability to get offensive rebounds and get those second chance points. So yes, Olivet, that's the one stat that's in Olivet's favor right now, in that it's 6-0, but they want that number to be even bigger.
Yeah, and when you've got guys with such a size advantage, you've really got to try and take advantage of it. I'm a little surprised, too, from Skipper. There's been a few points where I thought he probably could have tried to lay the ball in when he got down low on the block and just never did. As we can see here, the leading scorer for the Olivet Comets is Nathan Richardson. Hit a bunch of those three-pointers, and that's part of why he has that 12 points. Connor Skipper with 5, 2 of 5. He hasn't been shooting well for a big man. Okello, who we were talking about in our break, has been really good. We'll see if we see more of him. He has 5 points, 2 of 3 shooting for him, and then Porter Kretschmann follows it up with 4.
And again, Okello, a big body. You get him going down low, 2 of 3. He does struggle a little bit at the free throw line, but he does have one made free throw to go with the 2 misses that he has on the day thus far. But if you get Skipper, Okello, Kretschmann down low, all with that good size. You've got Okello at 6'8". You've got Kretschmann at 6'5". You've got Skipper at 6'10". You can do damage along those low blocks. At the same time, Olivet has been relying a lot on those outside shots, those mid-range jumpers from Skipper, the three-pointers from Richardson. Yes, Richardson did get hot for a little while in the first half, but not for very long, and if anything, they lost Richardson for a little while. Skipper taking a lot of those mid-range shots, those 3 misses that you see for Skipper coming from that range. And again, Olivet just seems a little out of sorts right now. Carthage, that tempo maybe getting to them, forcing them out of their game, and they've taken advantage, have the Firebirds.
Yeah, as we can see now for the Firebirds, their leading scorer, Riley Brooks, 18 points for him, 6 of 10 shooting. He has 3 rebounds in the game as well. Ryan Johnson with 10. Had a bunch of those early points for this Firebirds team. Kind of got a little bit cold there towards the end of that first half. A.J. Johnson with 7. He's been really running the point more than anything here today, but 3 of 3 shooting for him. And then A.J. Williams with 5 points as well.
You know, when we talked about A.J. Johnson in the pregame as wanting to get things going, shooting the basketball, we saw him score 22 points against Wheaton on Saturday. But Riley Brooks did come in as the leading scorer for this Firebirds team, and he has shown exactly why he has been their most dangerous weapon thus far this year. Give him any time beyond the arc, and he has been able to drain shots left and right today. He's been hot early on. The Firebirds want to keep that tempo up, keep finding Brooks beyond the arc, and if they can keep on doing that, there's a good chance they'll come away with a victory this afternoon.
So coming into the game today, 26 of 65 was Riley Brooks. That's good for a 40% three-point percentage that he had coming into today. That's an impressive clip to be hitting.
And you can tell the pace of this offense is set up to get Brooks those shots beyond the arc, to get those shots even before the defense can get set. And they're not necessarily fast break points per se, but it is a matter of Carthage moving the basketball so quickly, being quick with their snapped passes, finding Brooks beyond the arc, and then he's not afraid to shoot and hit when he gets the ball in a good spot.
Without a doubt. Take another quick timeout. We'll come back with the second half here from Tarble Arena. Don't go anywhere. There's no snowstorm or sandstorm, which is good.
But you got the glow sticks out. You're doing the moves.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. You know, we got to keep the party lively here at Tarble Arena. Even though it's an early game, we actually have a pretty decent crowd. Wasn't sure if we were because really there's nobody on campus right now just because of what time it is. But they showed out here, which we always appreciate on the broadcast. Chris LoBosco here alongside me. I got Dan Pfeifer. We are getting ready for the start of the second half as it is 46-33. Firebirds out in front.
A lot of families of the players out right before the holidays get underway. And, you know, it's good to still see some folks out here on this Friday afternoon before the week of Christmas. And we get things back underway with Carthage in possession of the basketball and coming out with a little bit of a slower start here, at least to start the half. But you know that tempo is going to pick right back up very quickly.
No doubt. A.J. Johnson with that ball up top as they work this one around, trying to break that zone. Looking for the cross-court pass, but in the passing lane was Kretschmann as he quickly works up court.
Dangerous pass. If you're going to make that pass to the far side of the court, you got to put more air under the ball.
No doubt. Can't put it in where it's easy for somebody to get it. Skipper down low. Back on the low block with it after that one gets stripped away from him. And now in with the right hand. It does fall on the layup for A.J. Johnson. Finds himself back in the scoring column. He's 4 for 4.
Slower tempo for both teams to start this second half. You would think that would benefit Olivet, but instead they turn the ball over and Carthage takes advantage.
I thought A.J. Williams could have jumped that passing lane there. He thought about it, and it eventually leads to a score. Not because he played bad defense. It was just a good pass.
Another bucket for Skipper. He now has 7 points in the basketball game. He's been the primary target for the Comets despite the fact Richardson leads them in points.
Dawn over to the far side. That a deep three from Brooks there. Really testing his distance. Can't get it to fall. Instead, it'll be over to Nathan Richardson. And now they go for the far side. That another long three. And that one will be grabbed by Ryan Johnson. We'll give it over to his brother AJ.
Both teams a little out of system here to start this second half. It seems like Carthage has come out a little bit slower with the basketball and Olivet taking those shots from distance.
Good find on the cutter, and A.J. Johnson as his first missed basket of the day. But it will be a ball that goes off of a Comet, so it'll stay here for the Firebirds. 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Another baseline out of bounds play. Carthage going with the line play. Get a screen at the free throw line. Pass over the top. It'll work out for them.
So they can reset from up there, but 10 seconds left, so they have to go quick here with whatever they're going to do. Williams to Johnson. Down low they go. Cross court for Brooks. And that one, he was actually behind the backboard where he shot his three for Brooks, and he hit that one. That's a hard line to hit.
The camera angle that you have on the broadcast right now is from center court, but our broadcast position is from behind the basket on the left side of the floor. So we saw that perfectly, and yeah, that was a tough angle, and he got it to go.
He did, and then on the other end, Ryan Johnson with a nice block, and it looks like a good reach there from Griffin Dawn to get that ball that got stuck in the stands.
Yeah, Carthage comes out here in that three-pointer for Brooks, which he has just been hitting all day long. Gives him 21 on the day, and that gives them the momentum then to get the block on the defensive end. That's why Carthage has been dominating this game throughout.
Not finding it right now is Nathan Richardson. That's another three-pointer that he misses. And I think that one went off of a Comet, so that will be Firebirds' ball. It was probably going to be theirs anyway. 51-35, the lead starting to balloon for the Firebirds here in the start of the second half, and officials are talking this over.
I think they're just making sure that this is Carthage possession, and indeed they do say that that should be the case. Do see Steve Jerikovich over at the other end asking why there was the delay. He thought the call was clear, but
it allowed them to set up a full court press too for the Comets. They're able to break it though quickly for the Firebirds. A.J. Johnson, a little bit of back and forth passing with Brooks. Brooks now top of the key, looking down low to Dawn, and now over to Ryan Johnson. Hits off the rim and bounces out. 2-on-1 opportunity here for Richardson as he sends that pass across. Can't get the layup to fall. On the other end, though, was Motley. And now it'll be back over. Sorry, that was zero. That was Honan. And then inside, end one going for Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, Evan Honan out there here at the start of the second half for Olivet, and yet he can't get that layup to go. We've talked about how Richardson and Skipper are the two primary offensive options for Olivet, but they need more than just those two guys doing damage. Honan not able to get that layup to go, and that tells you a lot of the story as to why Olivet has struggled in this game.
Yeah, Honan, I mean, that was a good pass, too, from Richardson. That's the opportunity that you want. Actually played the 2-on-1 well, though, too, did the Firebirds, I will say. As that one up and good, completing the N1 was Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, and Carthage really starting to take control of this game. Up 19 now, biggest lead of the basketball game. Olivet has just not found anything offensively here at the start of the second half.
Richardson dribble drive baseline, back outside for Skipper. His three-pointer ends up going out of play off the top of the backboard. So that'll be Firebirds' ball. See if they can get it now to 20.
Richardson is going to take a seat here. He will be replaced by Sean Schenker, and that shot was emblematic of what this second half has been so far for the Comets. Good-looking shot, can't get it to go, and then the bad luck of the ball hopping up and over the backboard, out of bounds to Carthage. Olivet just not getting it going here early on in the second half, and they needed to get it going down as many as they were coming out of the half.
They were setting up a full-court trap, and they kind of just let it break, and then it leads to a quick, easy basket for Schlesinger.
Yeah, and with the zone defense that Olivet plays, that does open things up for a trap, but you have to execute the trap correctly. You have to get to the basketball, and they just haven't been doing it.
Hard fall there for Connor Skipper. He's able to get up. I think it'll be a foul, though, so it'll stay here. Will the ball for the Comets. And we are over 20 points, by the way, now, 56-35, and didn't see if he called him for a travel there. I didn't see the signal, but it will be Firebirds' ball, and they go to set up the trap once again.
You got to switch something up here if you are Olivet at this point, and they are going with a little full court pressure, but so far, Carthage has had no issue breaking that pressure, and then Olivet just falls into the same zone that they've been playing the whole game.
And I think they just keep going to Schlesinger in the middle to break it, as that one thought that was going to fall from Johnson. He tried to bang into a guy much bigger and a bit more weight than he has, and he's not able to get inside, turns the ball over, and now over for Skipper, top of the key.
Good work by Ryan Johnson to get the offensive board, but you're trying to make that pass over the top against two bigger bodies. Maybe not the decision that he wanted to make.
As going inside, oh, nice double team to block the shot, gets it out to Skipper. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Skipper puts it up, hits the rim, rebound fought for, and it's going to be grabbed by Okello back inside, and a foul for Kretschmann as he will go to the line for 2. What a weird sequence that ended up being. A lot of the ball kind of just frenetic and all over the place, and they end up just getting a foul that allows them to get to the line.
I'll say this, though. I have been impressed with some of the defense I have seen today out of Chris Schlesinger, the junior from Lone Tree, Colorado, for Carthage, getting the blocked shot as Olivet tried to go up there. You know, he's a guy who is a guard but can play like a forward with that 6'5" frame, and he's used that frame well today. He's had good post defense there, going up top and getting that block. It's been good to see what Schlesinger has done on the defensive end for the Firebirds this afternoon.
Kretschmann hitting both of his free throw shots. Yeah, for sure. Even though they did get the free throws, like you said, some good defense. And, you know, sometimes when you play good defense, you play a little too good of defense, and you have a foul happen. That one from the outside, not going to fall this time for Riley Brooks, but an offensive rebound keeps it here.
Keep in mind, Carthage only had one offensive rebound in the first half. They already have 2 here in this recent sequence of possessions.
A.J. Johnson tries to get the ball over to Eighth. 6 seconds left as he drives in. That's a big body to try and go over. Skipper gets the block and then hauls the ball in. Down the other way. Nice move to get inside and score by Schenker. He has had a lot of trouble scoring here today. That's a big basket for him.
It starts with the block shot by Porter Kretschmann. He uses that big 6'5" frame and is able to find Schenker at the other end.
A.J. Johnson for 3 misses that one. That was one of those possessions where they were lucky they were even able to get a shot. It was almost a turnover by the Firebirds, and then that one, he started to feel himself maybe a little bit too much for Schenker as that one hits and goes out. Not quite a shank, but...
No, a shank describes what I look like when I'm on the golf course. But there we see Olivet and what's kind of been the problem for them today. They get a little bit of momentum off of the block shot and the layup. They get the basketball back, but then they take a shot too early in the offensive possession. You got to get a post touch there if you're the Comets with the size that you have. Instead, they take the shot too early. They lose the basketball, and now we get a Carthage timeout.
Yep, timeout here by head coach in Steve Jerkovic, and probably just kind of wants to talk things over, slow things down. His team got a little bit sloppy on the offensive end there. Not a bad thing to do. And while we have a timeout here at BCU Credit Union, we empower individuals to achieve financial freedom. As a member-owned, not-for-profit credit union serving Chicago and Wisconsin, we offer services like checking accounts, savings, mortgages, and financial planning. Join us at bcu.org and experience a better way to bank. They were getting a little bit too, not like super sloppy, but you could see the offense wasn't being as crisp there on those last couple of possessions. Like I said, one that just happened to bounce back to them that should have been a turnover, and then kind of calm things down here.
Yeah, 2 turnovers for both teams here early on in this second half with about 6 minutes gone. But again, the shooting percentage is what we're looking at here. If you're Olivet, you've got those big bodies. You should be getting the ball down low. We've been talking about it all game long. And what is Olivet's shooting percentage thus far in the second half? 2 of 10, 20%. That means that you're not taking the shots that you should be trying to get. Meanwhile, Carthage, you're getting out, you're getting on the run. They're only shooting 36.4% themselves here in the second half thus far, but that's all they needed to do with the lead that they had at the half, and right now that lead has continued. It's at 17 at the moment.
Yeah, almost back to 20. If they can get a three-pointer here, it will. We'll see how they come out of this timeout there, as they will quickly inbound that one to a player coming onto the court in Schlesinger. So he goes around a pick, driving inside, passes it back out. Back to A.J. Johnson. 13 seconds left on the shot clock here. Having a little bit of trouble this time with the zone. Oh, nice move to get Skipper in the air and then to score. Haith, the one to do that.
And we saw that from Haith in the first half as well. That nifty little ball fake and scoop move. Great move for Haith.
Skipper can't hit the 3 there. I think that was a little bit of a box and one we were kind of seeing as well. Oh, nice steal and layup for number 1 in Levi Stambaugh.
Yeah, Levi Stambaugh, not a name that we've talked about today.
Yeah.
6-foot freshman out of Mason, Michigan. Right place, right time, and maybe that gives the Comets a little momentum.
Back onto the offensive end here for the Firebirds. Haith takes that floater just inside the elbow, back outside on the offensive rebound, another one, and it's A.J. Johnson, 61-41, back up to 20.
Johnson, and it soothes all issues, both when it comes to putting a bandage on things with the Johnson & Johnson brand, and for Carthage basketball when Johnson can hit from outside. That one was A.J.
You know, I used the Johnson & Johnson, the kids' shampoo, for a long time when I was a child to not have your eyes burn.
Yeah. Good stuff. You know, it was like a viscous yellow fluid, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of describes it. It was yellow or orange, one of those. But I'll tell you what, their eyes aren't burning right now for the Firebirds on the offensive end. There's a great shot, though, from Schenker. He's finally starting to find his offense here in the second half.
Yeah, Schenker, again, one of those alternate weapons for the Comets. When you talk about Richardson and Skipper, you need someone like Schenker to step up for Olivet if you're going to stay in this basketball game. Down 17, Schenker with a nice shot.
Firebirds here. Haith blocked by Skipper. This time was able to stay with him defensively. 13 seconds. Inside, he went for the dunk, but he still gets that one to fall for Johnson, and he's going to the line for the N1.
Riley Brooks that time with the nice ball fake. You have to respect it if you're Olivet. Instead, he goes to the pass. Backdoor Ryan Johnson. And a lot of contact from Okello that'll send Johnson to the line. And you know what? That's Carthage basketball at its finest. Gets the lucky bounce, gets it to go, and he'll get one free throw on top of it.
I was going to say, to Okello's credit, he did stop the dunk.
Didn't stop the ball from going in, though, and ultimately that's what matters.
But he did stop the bench from getting up and celebrating the way they wanted to.
Very true. Well,
you got to take the little battles that you win sometimes, as the N1 is good.
He will not find his face on a poster anywhere here on the Carthage campus, but at the same time, he will still surrender the 2 points and the third point as that free throw's good.
Nathan Richardson back into the game, brings the ball up court, going over to that far side. Looking down low, getting inside, putting it up with the right hand, and that just bounces and wouldn't fall for Lee Hardy. Somebody we talked about earlier, not really getting on the stat sheet on the offensive end.
Hardy's got to stick with that, though. That was a great move. You saw how physically he was able to push the defender out of the way. The shot didn't go. It was still a good option for him.
Yeah, definitely really strong to be able to get in there the way he did. Brooks now far side as he gets that one to fall. You know, got a little bit quiet. We haven't called his name in a little bit. Now he just shows up once again when you need a basket.
There's nothing you can do about that if you're Olivet. That's a shot falling away off the dribble. You let him take that shot. If he hits it, you give him the 2 points.
Lee Hardy went inside, got fouled. He'll go to the line. Was surprised that he was. I wasn't sure if they were going to call it a shooting foul or not, and they did. So Hardy here. Got to be able to hit these ones if you want to try and cut into this lead.
Hardy only took one free throw on the season coming into this game. He didn't make it, so let's see exactly what we can expect from him from the line here. He puts that one in. Good-looking stroke.
And nothing but the bottom of the net. 66-45, at least gets the lead to 21.
New look here for Carthage as well, as we see Jalen Brown come back into the basketball game.
So a little bit of rest time for A.J. Johnson for the moment. Haith on the rebound as the second one was missed by Hardy.
We talked about it in the pregame, the fact that Carthage has so much depth. I mean, they have a number of players on their roster that haven't even seen time yet this season, so you can use that to your advantage against this Olivet team.
Very close to a carry there from Richardson. Didn't get called, though. It'll be Schenker with the ball now. Back inside to Hardy. He quickly sends that one on the kick out for 3 from number 4, Janice.
Yeah, Alex Janice, another player that we haven't talked about much today for Olivet. So they're going a little bit deeper now with what they're doing offensively, and it's working out for them, even though they find themselves down by 18.
10 minutes left here in this second half. Jalen Brown picked up his dribble, going far side for Haith. He's getting double teamed in the corner. He picked up his dribble, and now inside. Good ball movement to find Nate Montgomery. Another name we haven't said yet for the Firebirds.
Well, and that's one that Steve Jarakovic puts on his highlight reel. That is Carthage ball movement at its finest. Quick snap passes around the block, and they get the bucket to go.
Great way to beat the zone is to move the ball quickly where the zone can't collapse. Hardy once again on the low block. They've been feeding him inside, and there's a nice little right-handed floater. 68-50.
And that's Olivet basketball right there. That's what they've gotten away from at times during this game. But when they're doing that, they're going to get points. Great move by Hardy. That's the game that he's built to play.
Driving inside, just throws it up. He'll go to the line, Will Schlesinger.
Good awareness by Schlesinger there.
Yeah.
You feel the contact. You know you're going down. Why not just flip the ball towards the basket? It turns into 2 free throws.
Chris Schlesinger, the 6'5 junior from Lone Tree, Colorado, back to the line here. Try to get that lead back up to 20. First one up and good. Makes it 69-50. But it's been a nice game so far for the Firebirds, still maintaining a comfortable lead as we are entering into the second half of the second half.
Schlesinger, the kind of player who can do a lot of different things, actually came into this contest leading the Firebirds in assists per game with a little under 3, but we've seen what he's done defensively today. He can play in the post, he can play outside. There he gets to the basket, gets 2. Smart kid, again, junior out of Lone Tree, Colorado. You've got a player like A.J. Johnson, who's a leader at the point for this Firebirds team this year, but you know what? A.J. Johnson is a senior. Next year, you probably look to someone like Schlesinger.
Good defense from Haith, at least made it a difficult shot. Didn't get a piece of it, but made it tough to hit. Jalen Brown driving in, lost his dribble, passing it down on the low block, finding the player coming inside for the basket. Griffin Dawn on the cut.
Interesting that Olivet tried to double at the post. With their size, you would think they wouldn't have to do that. And Carthage, too good at moving the ball. They get the bucket, although Olivet answers back at the other end.
Griffin Dawn, ooh, that one will be a foul. That should be on Schenker again. He's got to be, that's only the 3rd one for him. I thought that might have been 4 for him, but it's 3. So Schenker has to be careful here with 8:45 left.
Schenker commits the foul after hitting the pull-up 3-pointer to make it a 19-point game, and Olivet goes to their bench in order to try and get a little bit of a different look here. The lead has hung around this 20 to 18-point mark for most of the second half, although that's good defense by the Comets.
And now it's Skipper for 3. Hits off the back part of the rim. Oh, good rebound. Jalen Brown coming in to steal that one away. Looked like it was going to be an offensive rebound.
And Olivet's at a stage of the game now that you might as well pick up the tempo a little bit. You get that steal. You try to take advantage with the 3. Good shot for Skipper. He just doesn't get it to go. It's a tough spot for the Comets when you're down this many with 8 minutes left. You got to get out of your game a little.
Oh, Griffin Dawn, that was a dangerous pass, but it eventually gets over to Jalen Brown. Rebound for the Firebirds. A.J. Johnson, mid-range jumper, good, 74-53.
Pretty swing of the basketball and shot off the dribble by A.J. Johnson. That you just can't defend if you are Olivet. You have to respect the move. There's no one there. He knocks down the open J.
Nathan Richardson has gone pretty cold in this game. Need him to liven things back up, and that's a good way to do it. Drive to the basket, get a foul and an N1 opportunity. He will be the reason if the Comets have a chance in this game to come back. He's got to be one of the players.
Yeah, we said early on that he got most of his 14.7-point average early in this contest, but he was stuck at 12 points for quite a while. There he gets the hoop and the harm. Carthage will go to the bench. They'll bring A.J. Williams back out there. But shutting down Richardson has been part of what Carthage has been able to do in this contest to get this lead. They've had to rely more on Connor Skipper than anyone else today. And for the Comets, Skipper's able to hit from different parts in the floor, but he hasn't exactly been able to shoot terribly well today either. Carthage just too good offensively for Olivet to keep up without Richardson having a great game.
That's an uncharacteristic miss, too, on the free throw line for Richardson. Again, we mentioned it earlier, he's at almost 85% from the free throw line. Ryan Johnson has to be careful as he's falling into the double team. Gets it cross court to Haith, jumper from almost the same spot where A.J. Johnson hit his. Can't get it to fall, and Richardson quickly across the timeline. starting to push the pace a little bit here now for the Comets. 7 minutes left as that one backing in and getting the basket. It's Lee Hardy again. He's somebody now that you're having some opportunities for the Comets as they go for this trap one more time. Firebirds need to break the press. Do so, getting it to Dawn, and now back over to A.J. Johnson. And
we're seeing Hardy emerge in this game, but if anything, we're seeing it a little bit too late. Should have gone to him a little bit earlier when you weren't looking for points.
A.J. Johnson off the screen, on-ball screen, hits that one from the top of the key, 76-57.
Here you're going to see him go to Hardy again. Now he's got a lane to the basket. Oh. Get it to go, +1.
Split the double team, did Hardy. Need to hit the free throw here, 76-59. They can get it down to 16 at least.
And I want to clarify what I'm saying here. It's not that you're not getting buckets from Hardy now. It's
right.
that with 6:33 left, this is the time when, if anything, you should be looking to take the outside shots and try and eat into that Carthage lead. Now you're getting the good post play, but if anything, you wanted it earlier when you could set the tempo in the game and stay in the game that way. So, hey, it's great for Olivet in terms of figuring out what they want to do when they get back into MIAA play to see Hardy doing this, but you maybe wanted to go to it earlier in the game.
16-point game, good full court pass to Williams. And now, from the other side, it's Johnson sending it to the corner for Riley Brooks.
Riley Brooks is as on fire as the fire you see on the Firebirds logo when you take a look at it. My goodness, what a game he's had.
He, from three-point land, has been stellar. On the other end, Okello can't get that one to fall. And a foul will go on the Comets, I believe. So it will be Firebirds ball. 26 points for Riley Brooks.
8
wow.
of 12 shooting from beyond the arc. Steph Curry-like numbers.
Quickly crossed the timeline, went Don. Didn't want to even mess around with that trap. A.J. Johnson outside near elbow. Gives it back over to Don. Cross court they go. Over to Williams. Back up to Brooks. That is a deep three, and that one doesn't even get to the rim. He was really feeling himself there, but the heat check. And I don't think head coach Steve Jurkovic is going to be happy with how far that one was.
Yeah, we're going to get a foul on Carthage at the other end. But, you know, the way that Brooks has been shooting today, I guess you let it go. It was interesting. At the start of that possession, Brooks tapped the top of his head, and I think that was an indication to his teammates that he had heard from the bench that they wanted to try and eat some clock on that possession. But, of course, he gets the basketball. No one's guarding him. Someone should be around him if you're Olivet. If he's on the offensive half of the floor the way he's shot today, he decided to take that shot. Yeah, maybe he wants that one back. But you know what? For all else he's done today, I guess you let him have that one.
I think they called a foul there on Okello. So it will be Firebirds ball. They tried to do a baseline inbound play, just kind of get him to tip that one in. Couldn't do it. And maybe a little bit of frustration, tried to just smack that ball away from the rebounder in front of him.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see Carthage try and eat a little bit more clock on their possessions going here. Up 19 at this point in the game. You don't have to rush things. Can work the shot clock down a little bit, although that's not working the shot clock down. That's just turning the ball over.
And it's another end one, too. What a beautiful layup by Kretschmann. The finger roll to get that one to fall.
Well, you can't get lazy if you're the Firebirds here, and that was a telegraphed pass that turned into 2 and maybe 3 for the Comets. You could see Steve Jurkovic there yelling at his team at the other end saying, hey, we got to be a little bit sharper than that. You can't let things go too much here, even though you're up 17 with 5:08 remaining.
Yeah, you can hear him everywhere in this building right now for head coach Jurkovic, as he is letting them know to not let go of the rope. They break the press once again, the trap, and get it to their best ball handler in A.J. Johnson, top of the key. As like you said, they're trying to eat a little bit of time. Brooks back outside, now over to the far side for 3 to Williams.
Just because you're trying to eat some clock doesn't mean that you shouldn't take open shots.
Yep.
Williams open in the corner. That's an easy 3 for him.
82-63, and speaking of threes, there's one on the other end from Sean Schenker.
Schenker has turned it on a little bit here in the second half. There, he uses the screen to his advantage, and he answers back. If you're Olivet, you want short possessions, and you want to get points every time down. Schenker gets the job done.
Ryan Johnson, the one to break that, gives it to his brother and AJ. Dawn, Brooks, back to Johnson, back to Brooks. Just playing a little bit of keep away here, eating into that shot clock. Down inside to Dawn with the left hand, and he gets that one to fall.
That's not a backdoor in the traditional sense, but it's the spirit of the backdoor in that you're moving down the right side of the lane. You hit the player on the left side of the lane. It's kind of a high post backdoor, and it works out for the Firebirds.
One back down low to Lee Hardy. As he works his way inside, there's the double team. He's got to get that ball away a little bit quicker. Good tap pass over to Schenker. 7 seconds left on the shot clock here. Schenker behind the back dribble, takes a deep three, and he hits it. He's starting to come alive now, but is it going to be too little too late? They almost have this one down to 14.
Again, for Olivet, it's about showing what you can do, putting some pieces together. You may not win this basketball game, but if you can get some momentum near the end of this contest as you head into what's to come on your schedule, you'll take it.
15 seconds left on the shot clock here, making sure to work it as much as he can is A.J. Johnson. As there comes the screen, looking for that pass far side. Brooks in the corner again. You cannot leave this man open.
What a day Riley Brooks is having. He is now at 29 points, and that's another one of those three-pointers that looked like it came almost from behind the backboard.
29 points, like you said, 1 point away from 30, and looks like a foul under the basket here. I think Okello will go to the line.
Yeah, Griffin Dawn not happy with the call. He thought he got a lot of the ball, but he did come from behind and he made a little bit of contact with the body. You'll get players sometimes that sell that as not being a foul because they'll say, hey, with my hand, I got entirely the ball.
Right.
Well, yeah, if you make contact with the body, that's going to be a foul too. We will see Okello go to the line where he does struggle, as we've talked about earlier in the contest. But down 18, Olivet, again, they've shown us some things today. They're not going to get this victory, but we've seen that Olivet has some pieces. There are some things for Sam Hargraves to build on.
Yeah, they're not going to let this be like a 30-point blowout or anything like that. You know, for a team that's 2-5 on the year, I think you just have to be happy with some fighting spirit, like you said, if you're head coach Sam Hargraves. I mean, if they can play spoiler here, though, it's a turnover by Schenker. As they pass this one across, it's Lee Hardy as he gets inside. Oh, that was probably a travel, didn't get called. Okello gets his own rebound, goes up, and he gets fouled. He'll go to the line again.
Yeah, and I might be talking a little bit too soon here in terms of saying that it seems like Carthage is going to get this victory. It's a 16-point game with 2.5 minutes left. But I'll
plenty of
tell you
time,
what,
yeah.
Olivet has shown us some things here in the last few minutes. And again, they've been getting back a little bit to their style of basketball when they're at their best. They're not relying purely on Skipper and Richardson.
Yeah.
You're getting shots from Schenker. You're getting activity from Okello and Lee Hardy. And it's working out for the Comets. If anything, they're learning a little bit about what they look like at their best at the end of this basketball game.
And there's if you want to come back, that's a huge free throw from Mike Okello. See if he can hit his second one here.
8 points in the basketball game for him now. Sean Schenker out there with 11 points. And you see Lee Hardy with 12 as well.
Oh,
Some
there you
unexpected sources of offense for the Comets.
87-73. They're making it a game at the very least. Not going to let it be easy for the Firebirds. As they will take their time, though. 2:27 and a little too aggressive there, it looks like, from Kretschmann. He'll get called for the reach. And that is a bonus. So that will be free throws here for the Firebirds.
Yeah, both teams now in the bonus. Olivet with their 7th team foul. The next time Carthage fouls, it will be double bonus for Olivet. So free throws, an important part of the game, as any coach at any level will tell you. And the first one is good for A.J. Johnson.
So he gets his second one here, trying to get that lead back. As it's 88-73. Oh, and that one hits the back of the rim and out. That's a big free throw miss, especially if you get a basket here. If you're Schenker and the Comets, oh, he lost the handle there when he was about to make a pass. They managed to keep that one on the right side of the timeline as they go back low again to Lee Hardy as he works his way inside, just plays bully ball on the low block.
Yeah, that's him using his big body to his advantage. Griffin Dawn tried to stay with him, but just got bullied out of the way, and that's what he does when he's at his best, Lee Hardy.
Can't have any turnovers here if you're the Firebirds. You're going to watch your lead get smaller and smaller. They're on the cut. Can't get the basket to fall. That one looked like it was off of Johnson. So that'll be back for the Comets again. Ryan Johnson, again, I thought you can tell he just wants one of these to have that opportunity to just dunk it, and he just hasn't had it yet.
13-point lead for Carthage right now. It was up above 20 for a brief moment. Hey, Olivet, end of this game, they do put Nathan Richardson back out there, but even without Richardson on the floor, they've been successful. Although Richardson misses a jumper there, and he has just been off today.
And there's a foul, it looks like, on the Firebirds down low. I didn't see who it was, but somebody made a little bit too much contact in the rebounding area in double bonus time.
They call it on Dawn, and it looked like it was opposite side from where the ball came off the rim. A little bit surprised even that the official made that call from his position. It's going to mean 2 free throws for Olivet, although Lee Hardy, who came into this game again with just 1 free throw taken on the season, misses that one well wide of the mark to the right, and that hurts if you're Olivet.
Got to at least make this one here, especially when you're in double bonus time. Does manage to at least hit the second one, so 12-point game.
15 points in this contest for Lee Hardy. He's had an outstanding basketball game.
It broke the press once again, or the trap once again, excuse me, as Brooks.
Porter Kretschmann just makes too much contact.
Yeah, I thought, I was surprised. I was waiting to see if that's what they were going to call, because it almost looked like he brought his hands into him.
Well, you know, and I'll say this too. There's part of you that wants to say that a foul 35 feet away from the basket isn't a smart foul, but if you are Olivet at this stage of the game, you have to get a little more aggressive, and it stops the clock. So you know what? It's not ultimately a terrible foul for the Comets in that spot.
Except if there's a guy you don't want to foul.
Riley Brooks, best free throw shooter for the Firebirds, hitting at an 80% clip coming into the game.
Yeah. Anybody else, and you probably are a little bit happier with it for sure if you're Olivet, but
sometimes you got to do what you got to do when you're down double digits late in the contest.
yeah, minute 29 left to go. It's back to a 14-point game.
And by the way, we should mention that with those 2 free throws, it is a 31-point game for Riley Brooks. What a day he has had.
He has had an incredible day. Back down low to Lee Hardy. Gets inside the paint. Nice move with the left hand. He goes and lays it in. Back to 12.
And he's shown that he can work with both hands. He can go to his right. He can go to his left.
Oh.
Neat little talent there, Lee Hardy.
As there, the pass to Richardson. What a pass! Get him free as he lays it in for 2. It's a 10-point game with 57 seconds left.
Interesting that the clock did not stop after that layup. Normally the clock stops under a minute with every made basket. That basket might have been made just before the final minute was on the clock. Now we'll get a foul against Olivet, and this is a 10-point basketball game. The Comets might be able to get this within single digits at least before the end of the contest.
It's all going to come down to the free throws and the shots that they take. So this time it's A.J. Williams is who they fouled.
And a credit to Sam Hargraves as well. His team showed no quit today. Outmatched a little bit by this Carthage team, and certainly Carthage ran a lot on them in the first half, but Olivet showed that they can at least stay in the basketball game and do what they do late in the contest to bring this one at least back within respectability.
A.J. Williams was 4 for 4 coming into the day. Hits those 2 here. Up court quickly goes Schenker looking for the pass inside. They find a wide open Skipper. 36 seconds left. Have to trap here. Have to foul as they get that ball across the timeline. Back up top for A.J. Johnson. 27 seconds left. 6 seconds between the shot clock and the play clock as they're just playing keep away here as it gets to Don. Still haven't fouled, though.
Yeah, I'm surprised Olivet really not being very aggressive here. I think they're just letting this one go.
Yeah, at this point you can't. You just let it go. As there, the three-point shot doesn't find the mark, but that's 7 seconds left. And now you kind of just dribble it out for Olivet.
And we mentioned how good Carthage is at moving the basketball in the half-court offense. There, they did it at the end of the game, and ultimately, that's what took everything away from Olivet in terms of their want to try and create some sort of miracle comeback. It was just the fact that they were able to distribute the ball in the half court, and by the point that Olivet was able to commit a foul, they said, hey, there's just not enough time on the clock. We're not going to bother.
I think if you're the Firebirds, you're happy that you're able to come out with the win, pretty comfortable win. I mean, it was up to 20 points. I think that you feel pretty good about it too, though, if you're the side of Olivet, because you played a pretty good end of the second half there and really started to storm back into the game. Now, granted, you wish you started sooner, but you have something you can build on, like you were talking earlier.
Olivet came into this one 2-5 overall. They have not yet played a game in the MIAA, their conference. Last year, they were 11-16 overall, but 8-6 in the MIAA. I suspect that Olivet is going to once again have a pretty good campaign in conference play. But if you're Carthage, it was Riley Brooks and everyone else today. And you know what? With Riley Brooks hitting at the clip that he was hitting at today, there was no way Olivet was going to win this basketball game. Just too hot. Riley Brooks on the day, 31 points. He's the one that carries this Firebirds team to victory on this Friday afternoon here at Tarble Arena.
Incredible game from him. 92-82 was our final score, so a 10-point victory as well. And we will eventually get our head coach up here in Steve Jurkovic. Jerikovich. I don't know why I keep saying Jerikovich. It's funny because I did this last time.
Well, you know, too, if you get Steve Jerikovich hanging out with Trey Kolakovic, I think you just won't know anybody.
Yeah, you know what? It's those Slavic names. You know, it's just my Italian brain, I guess, just can't do it.
My wife just calls me a slob, but that's another story.
But he will be up here eventually to talk about this one. I'm sure he won't be too happy with how it finished, but I think he'll be happy, especially with the play of one Riley Brooks, like you said.
Final stats up on the screen right now. The 10-point victory today for Carthage, although they got the lead up above 20 at some points. Look at that three-point shooting for Carthage today, 14 of 27. They end up shooting over 50% from beyond the arc today, and that ultimately is the difference. And so much of that was Riley Brooks with those 31 points today. He came in shooting 40% from beyond the arc, and that percentage might even get a little better after his shooting today. Great game for him. And hey, Carthage even out-rebounds Olivet today, 36-33. And against this bigger Olivet team, that's spectacular work on the part of the Firebirds as they look to continue the momentum from a victory like this. Also, points in the paint. You know, you get 22 points in the paint against this Olivet team. Sure, they get 30 with their size, but to distribute the ball the way that Carthage did today, they hit from outside, they hit from inside. They did a lot of different things well. Sure, at the end of the game, you let Olivet back into it a little bit, but you had the game mostly in hand.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about it. And you know what? Olivet gets a little momentum going away. Good for them. But if you're Carthage, a win's a win. You take it walking away, and now you focus on Edgewood.
Yeah, I think if you're Steve Jerikovich, you're probably very happy with your shooting percentages today.
Oh, without a doubt.
54% overall, 51 from three, and 85% free throw percentage. That would be one of those areas that maybe you weren't happy with how your team was performing earlier on in the season. As you can see here, our leaderboard for the Firebirds, A.J. Johnson, the one with 17 points, Ryan Johnson with 16, A.J. Williams with 10, and of course we already told you about Riley Brooks with 31, 10 of 17, my goodness.
Yeah, basically what you could do with that graphic is you could take Riley Brooks, and for all the other guys, you could just say, here's how many times they got Riley Brooks the ball. He was that good today, 31 points for him on 10 of 17 shooting. Also for Brooks on the day, he was 9 of 14 beyond the three-point arc. Just a spectacular day for Riley Brooks. He carried the Firebirds to victory in this one. Over on the other side for Olivet, hey, you know, we saw some of these other pieces play good games for them. You know, Lee Hardy, 7 of 12 shooting on the day. He finishes with 17 points. Richardson has 16 points and Schenker has 14, but we talked about Hardy and what he can do. Ultimately, too, kind of a quiet day on the whole for Connor Skipper, too. You know, you expected Skipper to come out today and be a threat for them from beyond the arc, but, you know, Skipper just 1 of 5 3-point shooting on the day, just 9 points. Not only that, they kept him off the boards as well. He only had 5 rebounds on the day. Crutchman ended up leading them in rebounds with 9. So Carthage had Olivet well scouted. They held down some of their weapons. Olivet did surprise a little bit with some of their secondary players getting the job done. But in the end, Carthage does get the 10-point victory.
Yeah, now we are joined by head coach Steve Jerikovich. And, Coach, congratulations on the win. I know that end of the game is probably not how you wanted it to go. Your 20-point lead kind of gets to a 10-point win, but it's a victory nonetheless.
It is that, and we'll take it any way we can get them. It was a physical game. They're a different style. You know, like styles make fights, and being a pressing team, dropping into a 2-3 zone, it's on you to execute the entire time. I thought we turned it over a few too many times down the stretch, but all in all, And when you look up at the end of the day, you shoot 55 from the floor, 51 from 3, and have 22 assists, pretty good day against the zone.
Without a doubt. And, I mean, you're led to Riley Brooks. I mean, an incredible day, 31 points from him. I mean, he just, everything he shot was just finding the net.
He's an elite shooter. When he gets his feet square, the ball goes in more often than not. And credit to our guys, they found him a lot. And guys are unselfish. A lot of the stuff that doesn't show up in the box score against zone are the hockey assists. Attack gap, find one more. Against zones, there's always a 2-on-1 somewhere. So we did a really good job of finding Riley specifically in that corner.
As a guy who loves the Creed movies, I love it when you say styles make fights. And one of the things that we talked about in the pregame is the fact that Olivet has such size, and you mentioned the physicality as well. You have to like the fact that you out-rebounded Olivet today 36-33. That's a good sign for your team as well.
First thing we brought up in the locker room after the game, too. Obviously, we want to score the ball. We want to get the ball where it's supposed to be. But, you know, playing a team that on the offensive end kind of felt like some old-school basketball. 6'10", 6'8", 6'7" on the floor all at the same time. Obviously different than how we play. So our guys battled. They really did, too. Some things we can learn a little bit from on when to dig, when not, late in games when you're up by a good amount. But all in all, super proud of the guys.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you had one more, go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, you know, going into Edgewood, and I know you've been really focused on this game and getting this victory as well. I have to think with what Brooks did today, you have to be very satisfied. I also have to think that with the Johnsons, they're playing very well right now, too. And the ball distribution today as well. Going up against this bigger team, being able to move the ball as quickly as you did, it seemed like the snap passes and finding the right shot was the key today as well.
That's what we've been searching for. It's taken us a little bit of time to get there. I feel like our last two games, we've done that. I mean, Wheaton's a very good defensive team we saw last Saturday. They don't give up a lot of assists in their games, and we ended up with 19. Pretty good number there today. 22, expect a little more against the zone, but the ball's moving very well right now. We're turning down some good shots to get great shots, and the guys are super unselfish. And we got to be ready to go. Edgewood will be a different style, and we'll be ready to go against how they play ball screens, which won't be seeing a 2-3 like we did today, but our guys will come in tomorrow focused and ready to go.
And I think, if anything, ball movement translates to any sort of defense you're going to see as well.
Does not matter, right? Man, zone, whatever it is, when the ball gets popping and moving like that and guys make the correct basketball play, good stuff's going to follow. And we've had 2 straight games now against completely different styles. Wheaton last Saturday against a zone today where we got really good looks, so hopefully we can continue to build off that tomorrow in practice out to Edgewood on Sunday.
And then, of course, it's Benedictine after that. So, Coach, thank you so much for your time, and good luck against Edgewood.
Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, and there you go. A great conversation with head coach Steve Jarakovic. And, I mean, yeah, you've got to be happy with, I mean, when you shoot like that, oh, my gosh. It is incredible to watch. It was fun to watch. And it's a good building block for going on later into the year once they get back into playing some conference foes as well.
And you and I are both basketball geeks. We watch the game from the high school level to the junior college level here at D3, D1 NBA games. It's easy to get wrapped up in styles and offenses and subtle elements of the game. At the end of the day, it's about putting the ball into the basket.
Yeah.
And the team that puts the ball into the basket better should win the basketball game today. Carthage, Riley Brooks. When you shoot like Riley Brooks did, you can talk all you want about defense, offense, style, whatever. Riley Brooks was the best shooter on the floor. He won the basketball game today for Carthage. And now, yeah, you do go up against an Edgewood team. It's a little bit of an odd circumstance with this Edgewood game. It won't be played in Madison at Edgewood University. This is actually going to be played in the Dells, in Wisconsin Dells, at the Just a Game Fieldhouse. So it's a road game essentially for both teams. It's a farther trip for Carthage than it is for Edgewood, but it's a chance to get a little bit out of your rhythm, do things a little bit differently. That's a facility that's a little bit more like a high school gym than anything else, but it'll be a good chance for Carthage to maybe throw themselves out of a rhythm, test themselves a little bit against Edgewood, and then you do go up against Benedictine after that, a couple NAC foes that you're taking on, good teams out of the NAC. And then you do get into conference play after that as you get into the new year. So, hey, you know what? Again, Steve Jarakovic is testing his team. He's putting them in different positions. He's making them do different things, and they're rising to the challenge.
Speaking of which, there is your up-and-coming broadcast here for the CCIW Network. As you can see, the next home broadcast will be Tuesday, December 30th. As that'll be a 2 o'clock game versus Benedictine. Then you've got the third women's basketball will be going against Elmhurst. It's a doubleheader for that one, as it'll be the men's right after that, playing Elmhurst as well. And then North Park for the women's after on the 7th. And then on January 10th, swim and dive.
Yeah, and that Elmhurst game is going to be a great basketball game as well. Looking forward to that one for the men. But today, it's Carthage getting a victory over Olivet. Non-conference play CCIW versus MIAA, and CCIW comes off on top as the Firebirds get this 92-82 victory.
That's going to do it here for us. For Dan Pfeifer, I'm Chris LoBosco. Take a look here at our executive producer today, Mike Love, our director, Ty Lumpkin, who's also doing graphics, double duty there, as our cameras were Cameron Lau and Emma Lebecki, as that is our crew here for today, as this has been a presentation of the Firebird Broadcast Production and Carthage College Network of the CCIW. That's going to do it here for us. Have yourselves a good rest of your holidays, as we will see you next time.